Hello and welcome to this training on how to boost your leads at your next trade show booth. You're probably watching this in the middle of your workday, so I'm going to jump right into things here and pack about 15 years of trade show knowledge down into about 10 minutes. I'm Rob Anderson, a professional trade show presenter and magician, and I'm going to teach you two methods that you can use to get more people into your booth. I personally use these to get people into my clients' booths, and if you use these, they will help you to not miss out on leads at your next show. First will be the line that's been my secret weapon for years. It works at any booth, with any product, at any budget level, and it requires no additional investment. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to properly do a product demo that draws people in whether you have a physical product or not. So picture yourself here in your trade show booth, all right? You've paid an arm and a leg just to get to the show, so you want to get as many leads as possible into your booth. But for every one person who randomly stops in, dozens more walk right on by. So what do? You try to get them to stop. Maybe by asking them a question, maybe like one of these. Hey, how are you doing today? Wrong. Have you heard of us before? Wrong. Do you want to come in and take a look? Wrong, because then what happens? People walk away. Now, I love when people at the competing booths around me are doing this because it just makes my job even easier. But here's why these lines don't work. First, it's what everybody else is saying. It's either, hey, have you heard of our company? Hey, how are you doing? Or, hey, do you want to come in and take a look? And when the attendees hear the same thing all day long, they just stop caring, all right? Plus, it just screams, salesperson with a sales pitch. Keep on moving, don't look. What you need is something personal that acts as a pattern interrupt, and most importantly, disarms them and gets them to drop their guard so they're open to your pitch. So how do you do that? How do you personally invite someone in a pattern interrupting way that disarms them to hear your pitch? I'm going to tell you the line. And then I'm going to explain why it works and how to use it. And I call it people who blank love this, where the blank is just something notable about the person's outfit or actions. And it works like this. Let's say I'm in my trade show booth and there are people walking by instead of stopping into the booth. I'm going to look for someone as they're walking towards my booth, and I'm going to make a quick mental note of what they're wearing or doing. And let's say in this case, I see someone with bright green shoes on. With a demo product or a piece of collateral in my hand, very important, I'm going to say to them, oh, people with bright green shoes love this. Every time somebody with bright green shoes walks by, they tell me this is the best thing they've seen all day at the show. And then, if you do that right, they're at least going to look and smile. And the look and the smile is all we're going for here, because now you're going to hit them with your very best value proposition or testimonial. Yeah, we saved Google $10 million last year with this. They all wear green shoes too. Go figure. Here, I'll show you. Or, yeah, we have 1,000 5-star reviews online. They all wear green shoes too, every one of them. Here, I'll show you. So we're hitting them with a big value proposition or social proof, and then we're calling back to the joke. So it's joke, value proposition, joke. Now I know some of you are thinking, that's not going to work. I don't want to have to say all that to someone as they're walking by. But it does work because I have generated many, many leads with this. But let me explain just a little bit more, and then stay tuned for my product demo system, which does take a different approach. So after we do the value proposition, you might need to massage this a little bit. You might need to tell them like, oh, you looked, you smiled, you're having a good time. Now you've got to see this for a second. Check it out. You're going to love this. The green shoes thing, I don't know what it is. Every time though. I'm Robert. What's your name? And at that point, they should be giving you a positive reaction, okay? Like, okay, all right, let's see what you've got. And at that point, you just say, yep, so what we found is that people were having XYZ problem in their business. So we came up with this product that fixes that by doing this. Do you have XYZ problem in your business? And now you're into your pitch. All right, let's break this down and look at why this works. When we say people with green shoes love this, it's a funny non sequitur. Of course, the fact that they're wearing green shoes or whatever wardrobe doesn't mean they're going to love your product. You're joking with them and getting their attention. It's a pattern interrupt. Nobody else at the show is saying that to them. I promise. And it's personal. There's no doubt when you point to someone and name a color they are wearing, you're talking to them. And if they're not wearing a color that pops out, it works with anything. People that wear sunglasses on their heads love this. People carrying Microsoft tote bags love this. People who drink Coca-Cola from the bottle love this. It gets even funnier if you describe their entire outfit just top to bottom if they're not wearing anything notable. It could be people with white polo shirts and khakis and blue backpacks and glasses love this. It can get funnier when you have fun with it, the more descriptive you get. Okay, so we've created a quick pattern interrupt here that's personal just to them. This is also very disarming. It's fun. We're joking with them. We're using a lighthearted but excited tone, and we're having fun. And having fun with them is going to get them to drop their guard much more than standing at the edge of your booth going, have you seen this new product? You want to stop and take a look at it? Yeah, check this out. It's only after that we've gotten them to drop their guard that we can effectively use the second part of this, and that's that big value proposition or the social proof, and then calling back to the joke. This only lands because their guard will be down. They should be smiling at this point. Rather than having their guard up, they should actually wonder, hey, okay, all right, how did they save Google $10 million? Let's find out. Why do they have 1,000 5-star reviews? Let's see. And then again, at that point, you go into your pitch, you assess if this is a qualified lead for you, and you scan their badge. And by the way, obviously don't reference anything like facial features or bodily appearance, which should obviously go without saying. Another thing to avoid is taking this too seriously. Tonality is going to be super important here because we are having fun with them. Obviously, the color of someone's shoes is not a determining factor of whether they like your product. So you have to use a fun tone. So it's not, hey, people with green shoes love this. It's, people with green shoes love this. Every time somebody walks by, green shoes, they love it. It's fun. Okay, so not everyone is going to stop that you say this to. You won't hook everyone. Some people will still walk by. But if you could stop even just a couple extra people per hour all day long, think about how many leads that would mean for you by the end of your show. And that is the people with blank love this system. I've used it a bunch of times. You can use this as well, just as I have in your booth. And if you do it right, you will wind up with more qualified leads at the end of your show. And if you don't feel like doing all this, but you still want more leads at your booth, that's where I come in to help. But I promised I would show you how to properly do a product demo, so here that goes. I like a looping product demo. That means a demo that instantly resets and it loops right back to the beginning when it's over. And here's the reason why. As people are walking by, maybe nobody stops the first time you do the demo. And if that happens, when you get to the end, that's all, folks. All right, you just wasted that time. But if it loops back to the beginning, maybe you do it 2 or 3 times and someone stops by during the 3rd time. And then since they only caught the tail end of it, it loops right back to the beginning so they get the full context, okay? I like a product demo that loops in less than 30 seconds and is highly visual and audible. That creates a spectacle, and people stop for spectacles. They stop when they see and hear something going on. So what problem does your product or service solve? Demonstrate that in a looping demo in under 30 seconds. Here's a super simple example. Let's say we're selling measuring cups. What is worse than a cluttered, messy kitchen drawer? You can never find anything because you've got all these measuring cups taking up all of your space, right? And you know how frustrating all this clutter is, but our line of kitchenware is designed to declutter your drawer by fitting one inside of another in this beautiful gold finish that goes so well with all modern kitchens. And people with Microsoft tote bags, by the way, tell me all the time how well these go with their modern kitchens. And now that fits neatly inside your drawer so you can store these away and store all the other things you have, because nobody likes to have a cluttered, messy kitchen drawer. And now we've looped back to the beginning. But what if you don't have a physical product? Maybe you have a SaaS that's just displayed on a screen in your booth. So, okay, you go into that, or you have a quick PowerPoint with some highlights. You get yourself 2 props. You get a whistle that makes one of those sad, droopy sounds like the and you get a bell. And every time you talk about the problem, whistle. Solution, bell. So passwords get stolen all the time. Phishing attacks are on the rise. Hackers are holding companies ransom. But our password manager stores your passwords fully encrypted. Ding! It uses 2-factor authentication. Ding! ding, and it requires no additional training for your team. Ding! People hear this happening and they will stop to look to see what's happening, all right? So those are two great methods that you can use to get more people into your trade show booth. Again, I'm Rob Anderson, a professional trade show magician and booth presenter. I've delivered millions of dollars of value to my clients at their trade show booths by mastering the art of getting people to stop and pay attention. I act as either a magical pitchman in your booth or as a presenter and a hype man, drawing in huge crowds and warming them up for you. So, if you'd like to talk about getting more qualified leads at your booth, you can contact me right now. There should be a contact form right here on this page. Contact me now, and I look forward to seeing the huge crowds that we build at your trade show booth.